All right, with head coach Andrea Gorski and Lasha Petree. And coach, I actually want to start with you. Take us back a little more than a week to just after that Loyola series. You talk about the uniqueness of preparing for the back-to-back schedule that the Missouri Valley has gone with this year. But then on top of that, you turn around and have the short week traveling to Illinois State on that Wednesday. So kind of talk about what that prep was like, having the back-to-back, then already having the short week right after that.
Yeah, I mean, it's, just how the schedule plays out. And, we've been fortunate. We haven't had to revise any of our conference schedule as of date. That could change tomorrow because you just never know what a new day is going to bring here in these COVID times. But yeah, Loyola is a very physical series, much improved, especially on the defensive end of things. And, really, wore us out a little bit there. And, yeah, you don't really have time, to take the day off. So we finished Saturday and back-to-back games. You got to come in Sunday and get recovery in. We got some shooting in, and tried to get prepared in Monday, Tuesday, and then go there and play on Wednesday. And you just, you really can't put much new in. You just try to get your legs back as fresh as you can. You can't really go that hard. And, just trying to guess really what they're, because I think they had 10 days off. They had a long break. They had a week off, I think, So you're trying to think, okay, what are they going to put in, or what are they going to use on their week or so off to put in. And, I thought they played us very well. And, that was just a rough, just didn't move the ball that game, and just really didn't have a pep to our step pretty much the entire game. And not enough runs and just not enough in us to get the stops when we needed. So, but then, yeah, you come back and now you got to, get ready to go play at Valpo, which is never easy. So it's just, again, we had some time off though there after that Illinois State. But yeah, those 3 games in a short amount of time, but it is what it is this year. And you got to figure out how to, you really can't count on having the same prep time as your opponent, which is also different than us because usually we all have the same. But you know what? You just got to deal with it. And you got to do your best, and you can't really have any excuses.
And Laisha, what was that stretch of time for, like Coach mentioned, the recovery process? What was that like from a player's perspective?
Um, we had to get a lot more recovery in than usual. I was probably down there with Jess a lot more than I usually was because we had a game so quick coming up. I was definitely sore and tired, but that's part of being a D1 athlete. So.
And Coach, let's talk about that. Something that I'm sure has come up multiple times over the course of such a unique season as it's been, the importance of the athletic training staff with such a unique season. It has so many nooks and crannies that it may normally not have. Could you kind of attest to what that's meant to you all this year?
Someone had asked after our second Valpo game, we're 5-0 on those back-to-back on those second games. And really, I give a tribute a lot to Matt Friend, our strength and conditioning coach, Jess Kinder, our trainer. I don't think there's a better duo in our conference or honestly, in much of college basketball. What they do for our team it's extraordinary. And, their whole focus, as soon as our game ends, Matt's got them down there stretching right away. And then it becomes, recovery, whether it's cherry juice or Gatorade or body armor, stretching, puffy pants, Theragun, ice baths. I mean, Jess is already getting the ice ready to take back to the hotel. And just what they do, team stretching, nutrition, it really does make a difference. And, you think these back-to-back games, I just think that they just put so much into it. And it's also, the resources we have available here too at the home games. We have a recovery room. We have a hydrotherapy pool room. We have the equipment. We have the tools that are necessary. And then we have the Jess and Matt that really, truly, they are as competitive as the players and the coaches are. I mean, they want to win and are devastated when we don't. So when you have them all in like that too, it really helps. But I do think our team is a little more mature with recovery this year, thank goodness, because you do have those back-to-back games and everything you can do just to get, to recover. That helps. But I'll tell you what, no matter what, their legs in that first quarter, this back-to-back, they're not feeling great. It's just, how much can they overcome it? But I do feel like we were the fresher team in a lot of these back-to-back games.
And Lasha, how important do you feel like those aspects of team play have been in such a unique season when you look at things like chemistry, like maturity? It's important to kind of keep those at as optimal a level as possible when you don't know what could get thrown at you day to day.
Are you talking about like the back-to-back playing
Yeah,
aspect?
the back-to-backs and just the overall uniqueness of the season in terms of staying mature and the team kind of sticking together. That's something I've seen, honestly, since the 16-17 year, that you all have always been pretty much a tight group. And so I'm sure that's super important this year more than any year.
Yeah, I think the back-to-back games are a different kind of challenge. It's definitely helped us come closer as a team. We've definitely had our ups and downs throughout the year with how this year's season has been going. But I think overall, the team chemistry has gotten a lot better because of that. We have to keep each other up because of the back-to-back games. Usually we'd have an off day and then we'd have to play again. Like last season, this season we just play and then we play. So we have to constantly make sure that we're together, we keep up, we stay up, and we're on the same page for the next game.
And Coach, let's transition to more of the future conversation here. You all finally get to be back at Renaissance for the first time since that Loyola series. Your thoughts on where the team's at going into that back-to-back with Northern Iowa?
Yeah, I think that, at this point, we know what our strengths are. We know what our weaknesses are. And it's just really, it's turning those weaknesses into strengths now. And I think that's been the focus here this week with the coaching staff, is really just harping on the team. Like, this is what we got to improve on, and just challenging them a little bit. But I also know that our team is, they're very competitive, and we love that we have 5 of our next 7 games at home. That plays well for us. It's different when you're on the road and everything, and it's not fun to be on the road this year. You can't go out and eat at a restaurant. You really can't hang out in the hotel. You kind of just got to be in your room, or you got to be spread out in the meeting space, or it's just a different vibe on the road. So it's nice. It's really nice to be at home. We'll potentially have limited fans for starting in our Northern Iowa series, and whether it's we have 10 or 20 fans, that's just to have a few parents there is, I think, going to lift our spirits up a little bit too. So it's just this week is really just about we got 7 conference games. If we're lucky, if we can keep this
keep holding strong. Yeah,
keep holding strong. But I do think our team so far is really try to stay in our own little bubble. And I know it's wearing on them. It's wearing on the coaches not to be able to run out and grab a beat, bite to eat with your spouse, or it is hard. It's not and I know it's wearing on our team too. So it's just trying to keep things light, keep practices a little bit shorter than normal. And just, again, just pointing to, I think Mari said it best at practice last week. It's just maybe just thinking about being grateful a little bit more, because we're just lucky to be playing right now during this crazy times. And I do think our team has handled this very well, staying in their bubble, doing everything they can do to control the situation, and still in the back of your head knowing, you don't really have control of the situation. So that's been the hard part. But I just think that our staff in general has been doing a great job. Our coaches, I think, the training staff, Bradley administration in general, just trying to take one day at a time and keeping our student athletes safe and healthy, and being able to play in this strange season. So it's a lot going on, but you hate to use the cliche over and over, but it really is. You just wake up, see what the day is going to bring you, and do the best you can.
And as we get ready to wrap up, we'll go back to some more general questions. But Lasha, something I want to ask you that I'm sure is on the mind of every student athlete at the Division I level is the balancing of the student and the athlete through the pandemic. What has that process been like for you, especially as the regular season slowly is getting towards the final turn here?
I definitely think it's been tough. This year, a lot tougher than other years. Especially because we don't have like normally we'd be able to get together with study groups. We'll be able to get together and just do homework together, not even study together, or have plans to do other stuff outside of our own apartments. And we'd have to do it completely by ourselves this year, which is, it's okay, but it's had its ups and downs, I guess. So
Yeah. And how's the academic side of things been for you, Coach, in terms of seeing how your players are doing in that regard?
Yeah, it's, most of our classes are online at certain times. So, even though they don't maybe report to class, they still have to be logged in on that time. We have some that are in-person classes, and it's just, I think it's just scattered. I would say it's just more scattered. I think as a coach, you just, Lasha and I had a long conversation on FaceTime this morning, just talking about how different it is this year. And it's like the coaches this is the first time we've done this too. It's like, and I hope it's the last time, honestly. I mean, it's just looking really from feedback, how are the players doing? Just really having open conversations, sometimes shedding some tears, sometimes getting on them, sometimes, it's really the first time coach and staff has done this too. So I think it's just more, let's just be open with each other. If we could do things differently, in both ways, from the players to the coaches and coaches to the players, it's just, I do think this is going to make us a lot more together, a lot closer, even for future seasons. I really do, because once you go through this, you have a bond like no other. I mean, because no one's going to believe us in 15 years when we tell these stories. They're going to, but it's you take the best you can out of it. But I do think it's making us stronger, tougher, more resilient, and it's going to pay off.
All right, head coach Andrea Gorski, Lasha Petree, both of you, thanks for taking the time. Really appreciate it.
thanks,
Alex. Appreciate you, everything you do for us.